Jacobs, he emailed us about this. It was an open idea for this project just to go help a nursing student. Johnny, for his whole life, he doesn't have the dexterity that our fingers offers us, and so he can't do a lot of things we think of as super trivial, such as opening a bag or inserting a syringe into a tube. And so we had to design these items with certain constraints in mind. Our goal here was to make him fully independent of another helper so that he could perform these tasks on his own. And so we devised a set of tools with the intention to help him do this. We thought, okay, usually there are tables, and so we can utilize those tables. We can take these, implement a suction system, such as a suction cup. You can just press it down on a table. It will hold itself there. And this specific module I'm holding is designed to hold these medicine vials you can see here. The neck here is special. It's designed to accommodate various sizes of medicine vials, and they can go in sort of like this. And the locking mechanism locks on just like this. Click. And once it's locked in, you can interact with it in a fixed manner. It's not going to budge anywhere once it's held down to the table via suction. And so from here, Johnny can do things such as take a syringe with a needle, plunge it in, and then he can also change the orientation to another one. This here will allow him to draw the syringe with the requirement of the valve being upside down so that there's no air going into the needle. These are actually similar devices, these both here. This one was designed to pivot and all-in-one like this, but it was found to be not as reliable as something that could just slot in a fixed position and slot out to a different position. And so, yeah.
Yeah, we needed something that is repeatable, that is safe, and that is self-containing. So we went through a lot of iterative process.
One of the first models and first thought that we did was the opening of the package, which is simple for us, but for him with a little bit of mobility issues, it's very hard for him to do that without being unsterile. So my first thought for it was to come up with some guillotine device or some very complicated mechanism for just a slicing. But this was inspired by the saran wrap slicer that you can just buy. And my goal was to save work for me, so keep the design very simple, and also for him very simple to use. So all you have to do is just put a bag here and hold it together, push it across, and there you go. He has his open bag for whatever he's going to use, probably with his needles.
The task that he has to do, these modules are designed to address those issues. So some of the tasks that required our help were firstly taking an IV bag, hanging it up on a stand. What seems super simple for us, pick and place, is a challenging task for him. Next, he has to take that IV line, and then he also has to attach the line coming from the patient to the IV bag. And that normally would be a take and twist together, and that's totally impossible for him without further assistance.
When you think about it, the tasks are not that hard, but you need to maintain a clean environment, and you can't touch a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you can't use a lot of things for medical reasons. So that we had to work with a lot of constraints even if it is a simple task, it is not.
In nursing and in healthcare, there is some sort of systemic ableism where it's very difficult for some people who might have issues with their mobility to pass in practical exams.
One of our slight challenges was, trying not to use our fingers whenever we're, trying to perform a task. And that was like really hard, even when, modeling some of these systems where, sometimes we would have like one of our fingers there holding it, unintentionally, of course, but, that's one of the slight challenges that we faced, was that not realizing that, Johnny doesn't have that kind of luxury.
Yeah, at some point, I think we taped some of our fingers and experimented with that.
Yeah, we taped up our fingers.
Our fingers.
Yeah, definitely keeping it sterile was very hard.
Yeah,
and especially for us, sometimes, keeping it sterile with our fingers are fine, but whenever we don't have that and we, decide to, later to tape our hands up, keeping it sterile was very, very difficult. And that kind of gave us some insight of what Johnny is kind of facing for his certifications.
I think it helped him. He could do some of the tasks himself and he could use some of the things, but it is an ongoing process. He needs something more. Yeah, it's not a completely finished product, but he could use it. He could use it for some of his tasks, and it makes his life a little bit easier. So, I think it is a success.